Welcome, everyone. My name is Nicholas, and I'll be guiding you today. I'm filling in for Tiffany. So we have two very special guests today. We have my friend Kevin. Kevin and I have known each other for many years. We practice, I would say, for at least 4 or 5 years together. We have the same teacher. We went to UR Energy Yoga School, so it's a pleasure to have Kevin here. And we have my dear friend Emilia over there, which you guys all know. She's an amazing yogini, singer, beautiful medicine music. So without further ado, here we are, arriving at the mat. I'm going to hand it over to Kevin. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. Mic check. All right. Thank you, Nicholas. Yes, it's been a pleasure to practice with you and Emmy. It's been a pleasure to be your friend and all of that. And it's a pleasure and an honor to be in front of you guys today here. I miss space a lot and the spaces that it brings to me. So it's an honor and a pleasure to be able to guide you today. Let's go ahead and just start by finding a comfortable seated position. And as you see, it can be with your legs crossed, or you can sit on top of your knees, on top of your shins, right? Or any other comfortable position. Doesn't have to be yoga, meditation. You can be sitting on a chair. Just for a couple of minutes, perhaps just going into our body and just checking in. Now your eyes can be closed, they can be open. But take a moment to just relax the shoulders down. Bring the hands either palms facing up or facing down, and just let them rest on top of your thighs. And from there, feel the support of the ground. If you're sitting on your sit bones, just feel that energy, right? That pull from the ground and that push from your spine all the way up. And then from this space, let's go ahead and bring our attention to our breath. How's our breath moving today? And without trying to analyze it, without trying to judge it, just notice the movement of the belly, the movement of the chest as it flows in and out. The temperature of the breath. Perhaps there's even a sound with it. And you notice that it's there, moving. And the more you pay attention, you realize how still your mind can become. You realize how loud your breath can be compared to these other stimuli in our mind. From this space of awareness, let's bring our palms into our chest. Perhaps your thumbs are touching your heart center, the point between your chest. And take a moment to set an intention, a dedication, a purpose, an energy that you want to create, or a value that you want to get closer to. And as I do that, I wanted to share something that Emilia shared with me about a woman named Maria Sabina. She's a curandera medicine woman. And she says, "Cure yourself with the light of the sun and the rays of the moon, with the sound of the river and the waterfall, with the swaying of the sea and the fluttering of the birds. Heal yourself with mint, with neem and eucalyptus. Sweeten yourself with lavender, rosemary, and chamomile. Hug yourself with the cocoa bean and a touch of cinnamon. Put love in a tea instead of sugar, and take it looking at the stars. Heal yourself with the kisses that the wind gives you and the hugs of the rain. Get strong with bare feet on the ground and with everything that is born from it. Get smarter every day by listening to your intuition, looking at the world with the eye of your forehead. Jump, dance, sing so that you live happier. Heal yourself with beautiful love, and always remember, you are the medicine. From here, bring your hands back down to your thighs. And now let's start to bring that attention, that awareness of our breath, and let's start to expand into our breath. Start to breathing a little deeper. And without forcing it, press all that air out. See how long your exhale can be. And without force, again, new inhale fills you up, your belly, your lungs, your chest, your eyes, your forehead with air. And exhale all the way out. Notice the chest coming down, the belly, the abdomen hugging in and activating your Mula Bandha, your center, and new breath in. Exhale out. You can keep your eyes open, you can keep them closed, but at this point, new inhale brings the arms out to the side and up. Exhale, bring them out to the side and down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, move with your breath. Perhaps you look up with your heart center, with your chest. Exhale, bring it down. Last one, getting long from the bottom of our hip all the way to the top, the crown of the head. Exhale, bring it down. Let's do a nice twist. Left hand goes on top of the right knee. Back hand goes back. Straight down, lift the chest on an inhale. And on the exhale, look with the center of your chest behind you. One more breath here. Root down, especially through the left hip. Exhale, come back to the center. Slowly moving to the other side. Right hand, left leg. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Lift the chest, lift the heart. Exhale to move back with the center of your chest. Take a deep inhale here. And come back to the center. Good. Now bring both hands back behind you, and you're going to come into the fingertips, lift your chest, hug both shoulders, and just let the crown of the head be long. Press your chest up. Inhale here. On the exhale, root down on the belly, press the hips down. Gain length on an inhale. Exhale here to settle. Come back to the center. Inhale. And then let's find our way to a tabletop position. Plant the hands down on the ground, wrist under our shoulders, knees under our thighs, under our hips. Good. And from here, just shift your weight forward and back at first, perhaps side to side. Explore this position. Explore the range of motion on your wrists. Press the fingers down as you spread them across. So you start to feel the whole hand activating into the mat, right? Start to waken up the muscles of your forearm. Press away from the mat to protract the shoulders. And again, just breathe here. Move with your breath. A little bit of exploration here. If you want to take it anywhere, if you want to lift one leg, bring it out to the side, lift one arm. We have about 3 more breaths. Just find movement here. If you want to switch the position of the hands as well. Just warming up our body the best way that we can. Knowing ourselves. All right, we have 1 more breath in this. On the next inhale, come back to a neutral position and slowly just tuck the toes under, lift the knees off the ground 2 inches. Press your chest forward and press your hips back. So everything is hugging into the spine. And we're just gonna hold it here for 1 more breath. Exhale to bring it down, staying hard to our core here, right? Now, left hand goes forward. Again, you're pressing that left shoulder forward, but the right hip is going back. You can stay here or lengthen your right leg back. Good. From here, take a deep inhale, gain more length from the spine. And on the exhale, you can bring your elbow close to your knee. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring it in. Good. Let's find an extension again. Inhale here. You can stay here or bend the right leg at the knee. Reach with the left hand. And just kick that leg into the hand, slowly. No need to force. A little bit of a back bend for 3. Breathe it in for 2. And exhale to extend and bring it down. Let's move to the other side. Left hand planted down, right hand goes forward. Again, press both hips back, lengthen through the spine. Take a deep breath here. Bring it in, exhale, knee to chest, knee to elbow. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bring it in. Inhale to lengthen. Good. Now from here, you can stay here again or bend the back leg, reach with the back hand, and again, just kick it in. Notice the lift on the left hip, and notice the lift on the chest, especially the front part of your heart. One more breath. Exhale to extend it out first and then bring it down. Good. Now, bring the knees out, bring the big toes in together. Child's pose, press your hips back. Beautiful. Now you can take this posture at any point during your practice to just relax or find back your breath, find back your intention. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Good. Any sound, any movement that you want to incorporate for one more breath, please feel free to do so. Good. Now from here, tuck the toes under. Come back to your tabletop position. And then bring your hips back and up for your first downward facing dog. You have about 3 breaths here, so if you feel that you want to pedal your legs or do any movement, move your hip from side to side, go ahead and do so. 2 more breaths here. Perhaps you want to come forward and back on your mat, finding a plank position. Perfectly fine. 1 more cycle. Good. Take a deep inhale. Find your downward facing dog. Exhale to bend slightly the legs, look forward, and start walking, or you can step to the front of the mat. Once you're there, find length from the bottom of your spine. Inhale, press your chest forward and up. And then exhale, grab the elbows, bend the legs at the knees, and just let the front of the body hang. Any movement, good. Any long exhales, perfect. Any sound, beautiful. Feel the support of your legs, holding your top body, and letting your breath relax the lower spine, the middle spine, the vertebrae, creating space. 1 more deep breath in. Exhale it out. Release the hands down. Bring the chin to the chest, vertebra by vertebra. We roll up, taking your time. Visualizing each vertebra coming in together, and then lengthen your chest forward and up. From here, both hands go out and up. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands into prayer. Good. Let's move to our first sun salutation. Come to the top of the mat. Root down on the ground. Bend the legs at the knees a little bit. Good. From there, lengthen up. Inhale. Exhale to fold forward, leading with the chest. Halfway up. Inhale. Press your chest, your heart forward and up. Exhale. Plant the hands down. Walk the feet back. We meet on the plank. Take a deep breath in. Feel the strength of the body. On the exhale, option number 1, bring the knees down. Bring the chest and the chin, bending the elbows. From here, open the front body with the cobra. Exhale to bring it down. Use the inhale to come into your plank again. And then drive the hips back and up for downward facing dog. That's option number 1. Good. Right away, let's move to option number 2. Bend the legs at the knees and come forward onto your plank. Extend the legs here. Take a deep inhale. Option number 2, we can bend the arms and bring it down halfway. Take a deep breath here again. And then come all the way down, or just stay halfway up for your upward facing dog. Now your knees come off the ground. Press the shoulders back, press the chin back. Exhale to bring it down. Plank for inhale. Exhale, down dog. Good. From here, bring the feet together. Right leg goes up on an inhale. Press that right heel away. Exhale here to settle. On the next inhale, coming to the tippy toes of the left foot, bring the right knee in towards the chest and slowly move it all the way forward. Hold it here for 3, 2. Slowly press that right foot outside of the right hand. Good. Bend the back knee. Bring it down to the ground. Untuck the toes, but kick that leg down. Lift the chest. You're a lizard. Good. Breathe here. Feel the opening on the hip as you sink down, but lift the chest to gain length on the body. For 3, for 2, and 1. Now the left hand is going to go right beneath our left shoulder, and the right hand is going to go forward and up. Keep lengthening from the bottom of the spine. Open the chest. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, the right hand is going to go down into the ground. Press it down. Walk the right foot back. Downward facing dog. Right away, other side. Left leg goes up. Inhale. Settle here. Exhale. Inhale to come into the tippy toes of the right foot. Exhale, bring that left knee in towards the body. Come into plank. Your left knee is wanting to touch your left armpit. Hold it there for 3, for 2, and 1. Left hand outside of the left leg. Back knee bends. Lizard's posture. Again, sink into the hip, but lift the chest. Don't let the neck come forward. Neutral position. Good. Breathe into that opening. Perhaps you move from side to side. Find the nectar of the pose. How can I make this posture better for my body, for my breath right now? One more breath. Good. Let's open it up. Right hand beneath the right shoulder. Left hand goes up. Good. Press it up on an inhale. Exhale to bring it down. Nice. Walk it back. Downward facing dog. Bend the legs at the knees. Look or walk, step, or jump to the front of the mat. Once you're there, halfway up on an inhale, exhale to fold it tight. Come all the way up on an inhale. Both arms follow. Press your hips forward and up to do a little bit of a back bend. And exhale to bring it down. All right. Let's go to the second round. Very similar movements, you know where we're going. Both hands come up. Inhale. Exhale, fold it forward, leading with the chest. Halfway up, push your brain, your heart, your lungs forward. Exhale, finding a plank. Find your vinyasa. Again, option number 1, knees, chest, and chin. Option number 2, find your chaturanga. We all meet in downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Right leg goes up on an in breath. Right leg comes forward. Exhale. Find it again outside of the right foot lizard. Back knee comes down. Right away. New inhale. Opens the chest. Exhale here to cactus the arm this time. Good. Inhale to bring it back up. Exhale to bring it down. New movement. Back heel raises up. We tuck the back leg. Bring the heel down on the ground. Shift your weight to the right foot. Left arm goes up. Nice. Now sink into the hip. Open the chest by pressing your armpit against the knee. Nice. One more breath. Exhale to bring it down into the ground. Downward facing dog. Other side. Left leg goes up. In breath. Exhale. Find your lizard. Moving slowly into the posture. Back knee comes down. Inhale to open the chest. Exhale, cactus the arms or settle. Inhale to lift. Exhale to move to the other posture. Back, tuck the back toes. Bring it down right in the same line as your front heel. Open the right arm up. Hold it here. Sink into the hip, but lift the chest. Can I look with my heart all the way to the top of the mat? Exhale to bring the right hand down. Downward facing dog. Good. From here, come into the tippy toes of your feet. Press the tailbone forward. Press the chest forward. Finding a plank. Breathe it in. Exhale. Make your choice. Chaturanga, vinyasa, knees, chest, and chin, or go back to downward facing dog. It's all good. Exhale to bring it back, moving with your breath. Bend the legs at the knees, walk, step, or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale halfway up on the top of the mat. And then exhale to fold it in tight. New posture here, bend the legs at the knees a lot. Almost to bring your thighs parallel to the floor. Press your arms forward and then shift your weight towards your heels. You can even lift off on the toes. Good. Now from here, slowly we're gonna move into a chair pose by bringing the tailbone in towards the body, bringing the abdomen and the ribs in, and then pressing our thumbs back. Good, let's do that a couple more times. Tailbone in, abdomen in and up, lifting the chest and pressing the thumbs back. And last one, let's sink down a little bit more, but bring the tailbone in, bring the abdomen in, chest in, thumbs back. Look up with your heart for 3, for 2. Take a deep inhale. Exhale to fold it in tight. Good, from here, let's bring it all the way up, both arms followed. Exhale, bring it down. Nice. Third round, inhale, both arms go up. Fold it forward, exhale. Halfway up on an inhale. Bring it back into the plank or go straight to downward facing dog. It's your choice to make it your practice for your body. If you're doing your vinyasa, open on an in breath. Bring it back on an X breath. One breath on downward facing dog, inhale. Let it out. Anything that doesn't longer serve your practice. One more. Anything that doesn't longer serve that intention, let it go. Good. Both feet together, right leg up, in breath. Bring it forward into lizard, exhale. Same movement, inhale to open the chest. Exhale to bring it down. Tuck the back leg, come into a side angle, in breath. New posture here. On the exhale, press down on that front foot to lift the chest to warrior 2. Flip the front palm, inhale for peaceful warrior. Hold it here. Exhale to settle into the hip. Inhale to press that right hand behind you. One more. Exhale, warrior 2. Beautiful. From here, bring your hands into prayer. That back leg is going to come into the tippy toes and then open that leg out to the side. You're in goddess. Good. From here, both arms straight up. Hold it here for 3. For 2. And 1. Exhale, bring the hands back into prayer. Press it out to the side. Straighten that back leg right back to warrior 2. Inhale here. Exhale, bring it down to the mat. Downward facing dog. Good. Find a vinyasa if that's in your practice right now. If not, just stay in downward facing dog or any other movement that feels good. Exhale it out. We all meet in downward facing dog. Other side, left leg goes up, in breath. Exhale, lizard's posture, bring it forward. Left hand opens up the body. Exhale to move it down. Side angle posture, back foot straightens into the heel. Lift the chest. Exhale to move to warrior 2. Flip the front palm. New breath brings you to peaceful warrior. Exhale here to settle. Sink into the hip, but feel the support of both heels hugging in to lengthen the back, the top arm. Inhale. Exhale to bring it back to warrior 2. Now again, we're gonna do that movement. Hands into prayer. Back leg pivots out. Sink down into the hip. Good. Can I activate the back of my feet, the back of my legs, to bring out the seated goddess posture, right? Almost as if you're sitting down into the power of your legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring the hands back into prayer. Warrior two again. Open it up. Good. Take an inhale. Transition it back. Downward facing dog. From here, walk, step, or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale. Find a halfway lift with your chest, with your brain. And then hug it down. Good. Going back to your chair pose, this time right away, shift your heels, shift your weight back to your heels, lift the chest, press the thumbs back. Good. Right away from here, again, find your hands into prayer. We're doing our second twist. Bring your left elbow outside of the right. Nice. Now notice how your left hip wants to come forward. Press the left hip back as you open the chest. For 3. For 2. Option number 2, you can open up your arms, right? One more breath. Exhale, bring the hands back into prayer. Come back into your chair pose. Now, if there's a burning sensation on the legs, breathe into it. Exhale, let's go to the other side, right? Right elbow outside of the left. Now, this time, the right hip wants to come forward. Press the right hip back as you open the center of your chest all the way to the top. 2 more breaths. Again, any variation, any option is welcome. Last breath in. Exhale to bring the hands back into prayer. Come back to your chair pose. Hold it here for 3. For 2. Leading with the chest, we fold forward, release. Open the legs a little bit wider than your hips. And perhaps, bend one knee at a time. Move your hips from side to side. Anything that feels good. Beautiful. Bring it back, your feet under the hips. Relax the head down. Bring the chin to the chest, vertebra by vertebra. We come back to the top of the mat. Beautiful. Breath in. Both arms go up. Exhale, bring it down. All right, now we have our flow built, our sun salutation. Let's go ahead and do it all together. One breath, one movement. Bend the legs at the knees. Inhale. Rise up. Exhale. Fold it forward. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale. Walk it back. Find your vinyasa or downward facing dog. We all meet in downward facing dog on an exhale. Beautiful. Feet together. Right leg goes up. In breath. Lizard's posture, exhale. Back knee can come down or stay up. Right hand goes up. Exhale to bring it down. Side angle posture, moving in with your breath. And if I'm going a little bit faster or slower, just go with your breath. Exhale to bring it down. Exhale to move to warrior 2. Flip the front palm, inhale for peaceful warrior. Exhale back to warrior 2. Find your goddess, hands to prayer at first. Open the legs, open the knees. Back chain is activated by pressing the outer edges of your feet. Lengthen the arms up. Good. New posture here. Bring your hands into prayer. Now you're going to straighten that front leg. Bend more into the back leg to find Skandasana. Take a deep breath in. Exhale here. Can we keep the hips low as we move it to the other side? We can use the hands by pressing them down into the ground. Beautiful. Opening up the hips. Last breath here. Let's go to the other side. Come back into your goddess posture. Lift it up. Come back into your warrior 2. Straighten that front leg. Lift the arms. Press the palms of the hands together and up. And then from here, bring the hands to the side. Perhaps you shorten your stance for your triangle pose. Last pose of the sequence. Right hand goes down. Left hand goes up. Hold it here. Making sure that we're activating the front thigh. that we're opening up the chest, that we're twisting from our abdomen, and that we're breathing. Find your intention. One more breath. On the exhale, bend the front leg at the knee. Come back to warrior two. Inhale here. And then walk it back. Find your vinyasa, find your flow. Bring it back. On your downward facing dog, deep inhale. Exhale it out. Let's go for the other side. Left leg goes up, in breath. Bring it into lizard, exhale. Left hand goes up, in breath. Exhale to find it down. Find your side angle posture. Lift into the heart. Press away from the ground. Exhale to warrior two. Flip the front palm, peaceful warrior, in breath. Exhale, bring it back to warrior two. Good. Pivot on that back leg, find your goddess. Take 2 breaths here. Lengthen your arms up for the last breath in. And on the exhale, find Skandasana, straightening that front leg and bringing your weight back to the back heel. Take a deep breath here. Again, you can use your arms for support, or you can find a variation where you open your chest. On the next in-breath, can we keep our hips low? Find mobility as you move to the other side. Yeah. Good. Hold it here. One more breath. Beautiful. Look at where you're going. We're going to the other side, keeping our hips low. Nice. And then from there, let's find goddess. Press it up. Open the heels. Nice. Hands back into prayer for support. Press it out for warrior two. Isolating the movements of our hips, right? Straighten that front leg. Straighten your arms up to gain length first. Nice. Then press your arms out with all that length to find Trikonasana. Bring your chest forward. Bring the left hand down. Right hand up. Beautiful. Any variation is welcome. I love what Emmy is doing. A lot of core strength to keep that left hand straight and that right hand lifted. Again, you can also put the left hand on top of your shin and focus on internally rotating the back leg. Last breath in. On the exhale, bend that front leg at the knee. Warrior two. Move on your next inhale, up and over to your vinyasa. Resetting the body, opening the front of the chest, activating the muscles of your back on that new breath. And bring it back on the exhale. Bend the legs at the knees, walk, step, or jump to the front of the mat. Exhale to hug it in tight. And inhale to come all the way up, straighten the arms up. Exhale to bring the hands into prayer. Again, perhaps you close your eyes or you keep them open. But at this time, for 1 minute, I invite you to close your eyes, go back into yourself, and notice what has changed in the body. Notice the breath. Notice how your heart is moving. And perhaps for the last 30 seconds, can you use your breath to soothe in, to create space between the heartbeat? For the last 20 seconds, can you imagine you have total control of all these systems inside of you? And with your breath, you orchestrate all these movements, all this mood, all this energy. How would it feel like to be able to do that? Just feel it. Beautiful. From here, you can open the eyes, come back into your prayer, lift it up. We're going to our last standing sequence. Inhale. Exhale, fold it forward. Let's make this a little bit more of an active forward fold. So perhaps you grab the index and middle finger with your, you grab the big toe, or you can slide the hands down underneath your feet, right? What you want to do first before you go down is from the hip, try to lengthen your spine. Lift a little bit on the chest, and then find your heart coming closer to the ground on the exhale. And you repeat that pattern for the next 5 breaths. Use the inhale as an opportunity to lengthen the spaces between the vertebrae, to find engagement on the leg, to root down on the feet, and then exhale to bring your heart closer in between the toes. And perhaps the music moves you in the pose, perhaps it bends one knee, but you keep that active engagement on the muscles, you keep that active opening for your breath to be full, to circulate without boundaries. For your mind to think of gratefulness of all the beautiful things that your body allows you to do as you move it with intention. Last breath in. Exhale it out. Release any type of grip that you have, and then slowly come to a halfway lift, bringing your chest forward and up. Good. And this time slowly the right leg only is going to walk back, right? The right knee comes down into the ground. We sink into the hip, and then we lift the arms, Anjayanasana. Nice, beautiful. Now you can stay here, or you can cactus the arms back. Perhaps you have some support with the left hand, but sink into the hip. Lift the chest. For 3. For 2. And 1. On the next inhale, come back to the center. Good. That right elbow is going to go outside of the left leg. You're still sinking into the hip, but now you're going to lift the chest, press against your right hand, and find a beautiful twist where your heart goes back. Any variation is welcome, right? We're going to stay here for 3 breaths. You can open up the arms, or if it's in your practice, you can come into your Kulinyasana. Wherever you are, breathe. Use the inhale as an opportunity to lengthen in the spine, and use an exhale as an opportunity to look back a little bit more. Last breath in. Exhale it out. Come back to the center. Place the hands down. Tuck the back toe, and keep the chest close to the leg as you slowly flex the front toe and bring the hips back. Nice. Now, even though your abdomen is close to the thigh, you're lengthening your chest forward and up. You're pressing the hips back, and you're flexing the front toe. For 3. For 2. And 1 breath in. 1 full breath out. On the next inhale, come back. Bring the left knee forward. Nice. Press the hands down on the mat. Find your 3-legged downward facing dog. Bend the leg at the knee. Open the hip. Good. Now you can stay here in this opening, right? Or you can come into your wild thing, shifting your way forward to a plank almost first. So you can keep your right hand underneath the right shoulder, and then bringing it back and up to open the hip to your wild thing. Inhale, an opportunity to lengthen. Exhale, an opportunity to root down. Slowly come back to your downward facing dog, and then exhale to bring their feet down. Good. Optional vinyasa again, coming into the tippy toes, rolling from the tailbone all the way up to your plank. Coming down, knees, chest, and chin perhaps, or chaturanga. Coming down, pressing and lifting up the chest from the ground to upper facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Good. Right leg goes up on an in breath. And slowly we bring it forward between the hands on the exhale. Back knee comes down into the ground. Sink into the hip again. Lift the chest. Staying here for 3 breaths. So again, find comfort in the sinking of the hip. But find the opening, the strength of the back body to lift your heart. The courage. The intention. For 1 deep breath. On the exhale, the left elbow comes forward and outside of the right knee. Beautiful. The hand can either press into the left hand, right? Both hands together. You lengthen on the inhale, and on the exhale, we look back. Any variation, again, is welcome here for the next 3 breaths. Find your last breath in, lengthening into the spine. Find your last breath out to exhale. Bring your heart behind you a little bit more. And on the next inhale, bring it back to the center. Good. Plant the hands down into the ground, thigh close to the chest. Flex the front toe in front of you and find your half split pose. Again, you don't need to come all the way down to get the benefit. Simply press your chest forward, look up with your heart, and the right knee, the right hip is all pressing back. Good. Flex the front toe to bring some engagement on the leg, and perhaps you move it from side to side. 1 more breath here. Beautiful. Next inhale brings you back forward. Plant the hands down, 3-legged downward dog. Bend the right leg at the knee, open the hip. Take a breath, find length on both sides of the body. Or you can stay here, or you can flip your dog. Come forward into a plank, find the support of your wrist under your shoulder, and then open up the body as you press your hips up and you reach the right hand diagonally to the front. Good. From here, take a deep breath to lengthen the body. Exhale to settle. Beautiful. Find back your downward facing dog, pressing the right hand down into the ground. Good, right foot comes down. Nice. From here, shift your way forward if you're gonna do a vinyasa, finding a plank. Knees, chest, chin come down. Deep, beautiful, long breath in as you open the front body. And exhale to move it back to downward dog. All right, from here, right leg goes up on an in-breath. Bring it forward on the exhale, in between the hands. Back leg is gonna walk 1 foot forward and then press the back heel down into the ground. Good. Lift the chest, come up. Nice, so we're having our hips squared into the front of the mat. And what we're gonna do simply is try to lead with our heart, bring the left hand down either inside of our right foot, on top, or outside. Good. And then from there, lengthen through the spine, and the right hand is going to come up to reverse Trikonasana. Beautiful. Keep the hip squared. Keep pressing the right hip back. And from our left abdomen, let's lift all the way to the top, to the right shoulder. For 3. For 2. And 1. Look down. Exhale to bring the right hand down. Bend a little bit on that front leg. Shift your way forward. And then let the left foot come up. Good. You can stay here with the hands on the ground, or you can bring the hands into prayer for your warrior 3. Beautiful. Any variation. We can open up the arms to the side, open them forward, interlace your fingers behind your back. We're here for 3 more breaths. And if you come down out of the posture, that's perfectly normal. Just come back. Good. Bring the left leg down into the ground. Press the hands down. Bring it back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's go to the other side. Left leg goes up. In breath. Exhale to bring it forward in between the hands. Back leg walks 1 foot forward out to the side so you can square the hips into the mat. Right? Now you can come up or just find that placement of your hand already, right? So the right hand either inside of the left foot or outside. Good. From there, left hand goes up. And we start to notice, right, how our hips move. Can we press the left hip back to maintain that squareness? Can we let our abdomen hug into the spine? And can we press our left shoulder back to open up our heart? For 3. For 2. 1 more deep breath in. On the exhale, look down, let the hand come down. Shift your weight to the front leg as you bring your back leg up and over. Nice. Again, any variation is welcome here. Breathe into your legs. Lift the chest as if you're doing cobra. Look forward a little bit. Last breath in. Last breath out. Right leg comes down into the ground. Place the hands down. Downward facing dog. Last time today for your optional vinyasa. Inhale to come into your plank. Exhale to find your heart closer to the ground. Inhale to lift and open that chest. And exhale to move it back. Good. Walk your feet 2/3 of the way, cross the ankles, bring it down to a comfortable seated position. Perfect. All right, from here, take a breath, settle in, notice your body again. Nice. We're going to sit in this position, straighten the legs out, and then flex the toes so much, you press the knees down so much that perhaps your heels lift off the ground. Completely normal. From here, press your hands right next to your hip. Slowly just allowing your spine to stay tall. Good. Lift with the center of your chest. Lift through the crown of the head. And again, flexing the toes, pressing the knees down. Dandasana. Feel the engagement of the entire body and breathe into it. Last breath in. Last breath out. From here, stay everything the same and just bring the hands out and up for a deep breath in. On the exhale, cactus arms, lift the chest. On the inhale, we straighten the arms again. And slowly, we're not going to stay. Shift your weight forward. Bring your heart closer to the thighs and start reaching with your hands forward. Good. In breath brings you back up. Exhale, cactus the arms, open the chest, shoulders back behind you. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale to fold and reach. Inhale to come up. Last one. Exhale to cactus. Inhale to reach. Exhale, this time we fold. Wherever your hands land, grab, root. Inhale to lengthen from the bottom of the spine, lifting your chest slightly up. And then exhale to pull your heart closer to the ground. Without force, without attachment. Take a deep breath in. Open the mouth, let it out. Last one, inhale. Open the mouth side out. On the next in-breath, activate the back muscles to start lifting off the ground. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. From here, bend the legs at the knees a little bit, bring them close to the sitting area. And we're just gonna place our hands 1 foot behind us and just move your knees from side to side a little bit. Good. And perhaps you can stay on one side a little bit, then lift into the chest, and just explore some movement there. Explore how low can your knee go, or what are the sensations that come up in this posture, in this frame of movement. Breathe. Beautiful. All right, from here, let's rest on the mat. So lie flat back. Keep your legs where they are though, so that you can find your half bridge, right? So you can touch into the heels, press the hands down into the ground, and lift the hip. Now as you lift the hips with your heels, try to find your hip going back to your knees. Your chest is coming close to your chin, but your chin goes away from the chest, lengthening the back of the neck for 3. For 2. And exhale from the top to the bottom. Roll your spine down. Beautiful. All right. Now you can try this again. This time perhaps you come up onto the hip and you can interlace your fingers behind your back. You can scooch your shoulders in behind you. And again, press the hip not only up, but towards your knee. So you find length on the lower spine. And then we find length on the upper spine by pressing the chest towards our forehead. But again, our forehead wants to go away from the chest, lengthening the back of the neck. For 3. Breathe. For 2. Last breath in. From the top to the bottom, roll the spine down. Good. For your last bridge here, perhaps you want to take it a little further. You can come into a full wheel by pressing the hands right next to your ears, bending into the elbows, and lifting in to your pose, right? Or you can stay on your half bridge again, right? If you are in full wheel, again, hips are going towards the knees. Keep length on the back spine. Don't crunch into the lower spine. And then press your chest forward. Opening into the shoulders, breathing slowly with the movement. Good. Straightening your legs, but powering into your hip to press it open. For 3. For 2. And 1. Exhale to come slowly back down. Press the crown of the head first, and then slide down the vertebrae from the top to the bottom to come out of the pose safely. Good job. All right, from here, don't grab into the knees yet. Again, do that movement with your knees, the one that we practiced before. Neutralizing the spine first. Nice, do it a couple more times, at least 2 more on each side. Beautiful. Now from here, keep the knees bent again. We're going to place the left ankle on top of the right knee. Okay? And now from here, you can stay here in this posture. Try to identify that muscle that opens your knee out to the side. And then find your hand to aid into that muscle, opening up a little bit more. Good. Second option, you can bring both hands in between the legs and keeping your sit bones down into the ground, you can bring your knee and your left ankle closer to your chest. Good. Option number 3, last option, you can grab into the shin, right? Making sure that our sit bones are down close to the ground and that our shoulders are nice and comfortable. Last breath in. Last breath out. Beautiful. Bring the legs down into the ground. Let's switch sides slowly. Perhaps you want to straighten the legs first before you go to the other side. That's completely fine. Once you're there, again, identify that muscle that opens the knee and then press into it. Good. Go slowly through the options as you find the option that best suits you. And the most important thing here is that you keep the hips down into the ground. The lumbar spine pressing down into the support of the ground. 3 more breaths. Finding your full exhales. Nice. Last breath in. Last breath out. Bring the left foot down into the ground. Release the posture. Straighten the legs out just for a bit. Beautiful. Perhaps you move your toes from side to side, opening up the hip, closing it out, feeling that range of motion. Nice. For the last posture here before your Shavasana, perhaps now you can hug the knees into the chest, keeping again the lumbar spine down into the ground. Perhaps you can stay here or grab into the big toes, open the knees out to the side for your happy baby. Perhaps this happy baby can come into a ninja baby and you start to straighten one leg and straighten the other. Right? Or perhaps your final posture before Shavasana is something completely different. And this is the time for you to do it. Take a moment to feel what your body wants. What movement, doesn't have to be yoga, can be performed to feel 10% more comfortable in this moment right now. Good. And once you have found that movement, you breathe into that intention. You can start to straighten the legs out, straighten the arms out, and find your final resting position. And I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, but the rain is pouring right now. Very conveniently in our Shavasana time. The last intention, the last thing that I invite you to do is to let go. We spend a lot of time noticing our breath, trying to move energy in a specific way, trying to move our body with intention. Now is the time to just let the body do its work. Let the breath be natural, just as your heartbeat beats for you, without you having to think about it, without you having to consciously manipulate it. Let your breath go into that space. Let your mind go into that space. Knowing that you're fully supported by this amazing body that nature put for you to experience. Your Shavasana begins now.
Está llamando, hay agua purificando, agua que está llamando, hay agua purificando. Recuérdanos, enséñanos de dónde venimos. Ilumínanos, recuérdanos que somos, que somos, que somos, que somos, que somos agua que está llamando, hay agua purificando, agua, agua, hay agua, agua, que somos agua, 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 agua. Agua me está llamando, hay agua purificando, purificando.
For the last 10 seconds of your Shavasana, remember your intention. How would it feel like to live closer to that value? How would it feel like to embrace, to embody that energy? And without words, just feel it in your body. And finally, take a deep breath in. And with the exhale, let that energy around you surround and permeate everybody who is in your awareness. Good. Start to wiggle your toes and fingers. Start to lengthen your breath. Find movement in the body. Slowly from here, perhaps your hands go over your head, your ankles and feet come closer together, and you find a nice stretch in the body. And on the exhale, you bend the legs at the knees, and you can give yourself a nice hug, a nice embrace, perhaps. Perhaps a feeling of gratitude is inevitable as you realize the amazing machine and body that you have. And then you come to the side and you slowly find your way to a seated position where we can close this session. Thank you so much, in gratitude and love.
Wow. Thank you guys. Thank you, Kevin, so much. Emilia. I'm in a trance right now, so just wanted to, what came through to me at the end at Shavasana was like how important, in yoga we call our practice our sadhana. So a lot of people that are not teachers, we're just yogis. We have to truly understand what sadhana means. So sadhana means is like doing your own thing, whether you're at home, at the park, at the beach, whether you're tuning in to 420 Yoga at Space on YouTube, do your practice. So if you do your practice, we can cope with the world, we can cope with stress, fear, anxiety, we can cope with our mind, our emotions, our thoughts, whatever it is. Just do your practice, please. And I just wanted to thank the Lincoln Miami Rebels for allowing us to have this beautiful place to practice, to take care of ourselves. So deeply grateful for this space, deeply grateful for the music, for everything. Thank you guys so much, Lincoln Miami Rebels, the whole gang. Namaste.